Hello dear course. This is the chapter 1 practical session. So today I'm going to explain the structures of C programming and I will cover the so many concepts, that is the documentation section and link section and definition section and global declaration and function declaration and the main function, finally the user defined functions. So let's start one by one. Okay, so why we need a documentation section first of all. So the in a documentation section is used to write the comments. It means there is a two types of comments. One is the single line comment and another one is the multi-line comments. You already learned in chapter 1 session. Okay, but why we need a documentation section properly? Because we have to introduce something. It means already write a code, I have to introduce that code. So why I am writing that code, and I have to introduce myself. So in the documentation section, first I will write the author name, the author name. Okay, author name, author name. Who is writing this code? Who wrote this code? Okay, that's the reason we are writing the author name. Author name is Madhu, and the date is, I will write the today's date, 28/06, 2026. Like this, I have to give the information about the concepts or programs. So that's the reason so many times we are using the comments. Sometimes we are using the multi-line comments because we have to give the justification on the each and every line why I am using those type of the codes and those type of the logics and the concept why I'm using. So that's the reason we are most of the time we are using the comments. In the comments there is a two type of comments. One is the multi-line comment, another one is the single line comment. Okay, we will go through that both concepts. Okay, the first one is the single line comments. So as you know, the single line comments will be represented by using this two forward slashes, and the multi-line comments will be represented by using slash, sorry, forward slash, star, and another star, forward slash. Between these two star, we can write our contents. So what are the data that we are writing here? That will become the, I will copy the all the contents from here, all the data from here. So I will paste it here. So this will become our comments, the multi-line comments. So we'll go through the each and every concepts. So already we covered the comments concepts. We will go through the link section. So what is that link section? Okay, I will explain you briefly. So in a link section, we'll always going to use the hash include stdio dot h. What is that hash include stdio dot h? First, I will highlight only the link section only, not the each and every sections. Okay, link section. What is that link section? The first of all, the link section will always going to link this header file. So actually I need this header file data. There is so many functions. So just think, the standard input output function is there, that is the print function working flow and the scan function working flow. I'm accessing those function working flow. Yeah, so I'm just accessing those functions. Okay, that's the reason I'm using the hash include, that is the link section. Okay, so by using hash include, I can access the print and scan functions or scan header files. So dot h will represent the dot notation, the h will represent the header file. And another concept is the definition section. In a definition section, I always going to use hash define some value, that is some variable name, that is the pi 3.14. So it means this define function, we can call it as a macro definitions. Okay, so macro definitions means it will always give some definition. The pi value contains 3.14 value, so we can call it as a global declaration also. So once I declare this variable and this value, I can access I can access this value in a complete program. So that's the reason sometimes we are using the macro definitions or definition section. Okay, so in the comment I will write it as a macro definitions, macro definition. Okay, the another section is global declaration. I will highlight the concepts here. Global declaration. Global declaration. So in a global declaration, I will always going to declare one variable. That variable will be accessed by globally. It means in this variable will be accessed by in each and every external functions also. It means the user defined function and in a main function and outer functions also. So that's the reason we have to declare one variable that will be accessed by everywhere. Int global underscore not variable, variable. Okay, that is 10 value I'm storing in the global declaration variable, global variable. Okay, the next concept is function declaration prototype. It means I have to declare one function. So if I want to declare one function, that is I will explain this concept in the end of the time. Okay, not right now, in the end of the program. So first I will move to the main function, then only I can declare the another function. That's why the main function, main ncgl main function. Okay, so the main function is the starting point of the program first of all. So from this function only we can access, we can call the another functions, we can call the print statement and each and every another functions and declarations, everything. Okay, that's the reason we need a one starting point, that is main function, main function, and open and close flower bracket. This is the main function, but with always the function have the return types. I will put the integer return type. Okay, when I'm using the integer return type, on that time I have to write return type here. I mean I have to mention the return type, return 0 here. So when I'm given the return 0, it will tells the successful execution. Otherwise, in this position, I can write void also. No need to declare the return type on that time. But integer is the main part to the main function, because always we have to give some command to the compiler. So my program was executing successfully like that. So I have to give some commands, so after executing each and every line and after executing the complete code. Okay, next. So in a main program, I will always going to declare some variable, that is the local variable. Here I already declared the global variable, and this is the local variable I am declaring in a main function. Local va variable. Okay. So local variable declaration means first I have to declare one data type, that is int a is the variable name is equal to 5 comma, and b is also a variable. I'm storing 20 in a b, and another one is the sum is also a variable. I'm not going to store any value in a sum, so leave it as it is. I'm sorry, keep it as it is. The next, there is a executable statement. So first one is the variable declaration is completed. Next one is the executable statements. So executable statement is there is some work and there is some execution. Okay, there is some mathematical calculation was working or done by those lines. So that's the reason we can call it as a executable statements. Hmm. Ex execution or executable stated. Same thing I will write there. Table BL executable statements. So in executable statements, I have two variables now. That is the A and B. I will add those two variables and I will store the value in a sum that is equal to A plus B. Added these two values and stored it into the sum variable. Then I can print this value. So that's the reason I already accessed the input output functions, that is the from the header file stdio.h header file. So I can use the print f function. In this printf function I can print the sum is equal to percentage %t backslash n comma. So percentage d is the format specifier. It will access the value from the this location. In this location there is a variable. The variable name is sum and semicolon. And the semicolon is the ending point of this line. And another function is also, and return 0 is also there. I already declared the return 0. Then user defined function is also there finally. So I already printed this answer, but I have to print the another answer also, or some statement also. So that's the reason I will use the user defined function, that is void return type. I don't want to print any executable or any successful execution like that to the compiler. I will just going to print the value. That's the reason I'm going to use the void functions. So void, so not here. I will going to call the a display function. The function name is display function. That's it. Okay. In this semicolon, I have to call this function. So I have to use the function declaration first. If I want to call this function, this is the function call. I will write the function call and function declaration. And function declaration means I have to give the type what type of the data and what type of the data I'm returning, what type of the data I'm printing. So this type of the declaration I have to give. That's why I will use the white. I'm not returning anything. That's the reason I use the white return type, and the function name is display function. Display function, play. Okay, semicolon. And I have to call this function now. I declare the function, I call the function, so I need a definition. When I'm calling this function, it will move to the another function, the same function. Then it will execute the entire program, and it will come return back to the same function on the same line. So that's the reason I have to call this function. So the user defined function, this is the user defined function. Now I will give the user defined function name here. And this is the function definition, actually user defined function. This is the function definition. Function definition, always function definition contains the entire program, or entire work of that function. Okay, entire work of the function. So display function, white, that is the return type. Display, same function, open and close flower bracket. Within these two flower brackets only, I have to write something that will going to print, that will going to work in this display function. Okay. Okay, right now I will going to print only the simple things, that is print print f. Welcome to the C programming. Welcome to the C programming. That's it, I'm printing. Okay, so just think, when I'm running this code, I completed the all the structure of the C concepts. One is the documentation section, so this one, the documentation section. And another one is the link section, hash include. Here it is, hash include, that is the link section. Another one is the macro definitions, we can call it as a definition section. Okay, the macro definitions, by using hash define. And another one is the global declaration variable, so we can call this variable value in an entire program. And another one is the function declaration and main function. Actually, it's very important, main function is very important. Main function, in a main function I declare the local variables, and I use those variables and store the value in a sum variable. And I'm going to print those values by using sum, by using print statement. Okay. Okay, because in a sum variable there is a value, that is 20 plus 5 is 25. The 25 value, the 25 value I'm going to print by using print statement. And final one is the display function I'm calling. I have to print something. Oh, okay, that's the reason I am using the this function where I'm explaining the function concept. I will explain all these topics, that is the display and the function declaration. And another one is the function definition, function definition concepts. Right now, never going to worry about these the function concepts, because we have to learn a lot of concepts, then only we can move to the function concepts. Okay, that's why just ignore the function concept right now. I will explain you later. Okay, don't worry about that. And the final one is the return concept. In the return concept, it will return the successful execution of this main program, so it means there is no error. And now I will going to explain this concept, that is the display function. When I'm calling this function, this display function, it will move to this line, the line number 50, and it will print this value, that is the end welcome to the C program. Then it will move back to the same line. The next line is the return 0, it means successful execution. Then program will come back to the workflow and running flow. Okay, now I'm going to run this code. There is an option that is build and run. Always going to choose the build and run option only, because so many times we are never going to save the programs properly. That's why always going to use the build and functions. Okay, I'm pressing the build and function button. So it was executed. My output is 25. Sum is 25. And another function I called, that is the display function. In a display function, there is a content that is the welcome to C program. So I'm just printing the C program. That's it. If you want to become a coder, just subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this session. Thank you.